So Black History Month, right? We in Black History Month. It is Black History Month. I know they hate when I date the podcast. I don't care. I be, and I don't only like do things for Black History Month. I try to shop black on purpose. I mean, I look at your whole fit. You got on shoes by Dame Dash, a SU hat. Yeah. I don't know what the No Fear campaign is.
Did those jeans? I went to my man Caps. Shout out to Shop at Caps, man. Yeah, my man Caps. Who did those jeans, though? They're not Black History jeans.
Nah. They came from back then?
Nah, I got the white Lululemon draws on and all that shit too. So
appreciate it, bro. I didn't So when I go to certain establishments as a business owner myself, right, and I mainly shop black, I always try to I try to have a good experience at these things, at these stores or restaurants or whatever, and I always notice there's some details that are missed. And I don't know if it's on purpose, or I don't know if it's like comfortability. I don't know if it's like there's a lack of capital, which sometimes it is that. It's kind of weird, like, because I always go into situations. As an entrepreneur, I go into any situation like, yo, this is what I would do to increase this. My mind's thinking, I'm at the cash register. Here's what I would do to make this better. Here's what they could spend like $100 and switch that up. So I don't know if it's just that they don't know, or I always compare it like this. Like you used to watch like the BET Awards and the MTV Awards. Mm-hmm. It's about 50% of the same people in the audience, the celebrities, right, on at either show, but one has way more high quality. But they both have a superior budget. So what was the reasoning for that? I don't know if y'all ever watched it in that light, to be like, man, this is way better or way more put together or way more organized. And I'm not saying all of the shows, but like that BT Awards and the MTV Awards was a contrast. And maybe the budget was just way bigger. Maybe I don't know. Like, you ever experienced like the
I know exactly what you're saying, man. It's just standards, right? And I don't know if, forgive me, Lynch, for using this word, if our culture has a different standard. And you're right, it's not every single situation, but more often than not. And for black businesses, the constant thing to overcome is it's a black business and it's going to be this, and this, the stereotypes associated with it.
That shouldn't be right either.
Right, it shouldn't be the case. But the way you combat that is having, top-notch stuff, period, right? Instead of someone being able to check off those stereotype boxes.
Like, for example, you go to like a boutique, and I've been to your wife's boutique before. Her boutique is the same as if I walked into like a Lululemon store. Yeah. Like, there's no detail.
It's crisp.
Miss. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's clean. The clothes are like this. You can do space with 2 fingers or something. And then you go into some spots and you be like, yo, dope clothes. Why are y'all missing so many of the details? Because you want everybody's business. As a business owner and entrepreneur, you want everybody to feel comfortable and shop at your stores, because they're going to compare you to all boutiques or all coffee shops or all bakeries or all restaurants. You don't get to be like, oh, well, it's black owned. So, it's supposed to be like, so obviously it's not blanket, but because I've been to some phenomenal, every situation I just talked about. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you see that?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I just think most of the time, I think there's a lot of factors. There's a lot of factors. You got some people that say, we're not targeting certain demographics, and you got some people that are struggling. You got some people
financially. I can see that though.
You got some people that are they may be in a situation. It could be partners. It could be landlord. It could be they don't own the place. It could be, it could be people going up on them on their terms, and stuff. Just
very common.
A lot of different stuff, and they're like, I'm not putting no money into this, or let them do it, or I don't know.
I understand when it's capital. Yeah, I get that. We've all had businesses that have grown in the sense of like, the quality has grown as you get more money available. But I'm talking about the ones that don't have that issue.
I know exactly what you talk about, because I go into those staple landmark establishments when I visit every city. And most of the times they're soul food joints. They're y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
We go to these spots and you like, I know they making bread because the line wrapped around the corners, right? And it's every time I come, it's like this, you know what I'm saying? And I be having conversations with people who work there, the owners, and I say, is it like this during the week, or like is like this all the time? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So they making money. I guess you comfortable.
I think it's a mindset too, man. Because like my wife, I'll never forget. She would always say like I never like immediately after college she was like I never lived in a really nice place or a big place, but it's gonna be dope.
It's always gonna be.
I'm
nice.
gonna make it. I'm gonna make it dope. Even if I have to get stuff from Goodwill or wherever, it's gonna be dope.
Yeah, so if it's all our kids,
gonna be dope.
I think women are better at that for sure.
Oh yeah, without question.
But definitely, the game.
So you've never been in a woman-owned business and experienced what you're talking about?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Unless you've been to jail, the dudes been in jail got some ingenuity. They'll make something out of nothing in a minute and make it be dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we complacent. Check this out. I haven't had hot water in 10 years at the gym that I'm at.
And don't intend on getting it.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, I don't care either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, oh shit.
I can't think of when I went there to go want hot water.
Yeah, shit.
Actually, I'd be wanting cold water.
No, you don't wait. Yeah, but shoot, some of those December mornings, you be like, dang, I wish my hands were. And I wash my hands. I wish this was warm.
First of all, the workout's only 24 minutes. If your ass got to go to the bathroom or wash your hands, you about to miss half the workout.
Well, yesterday,
you better hold it.
Yesterday we had that 40 minute workout. And he was like, if y'all got to go to the bathroom, y'all need to go. Half the class ran to the bathroom. He's like, I scared the piss out of y'all.
That shit was
like, half of y'all better go.
Yeah, it's a mindset. Definitely a mindset.
Yeah, it's a mindset, man.
And actually, this week I actually talked about fixed versus growth mindset. And, we talked about where we get stuck in certain areas of our life because we kind of get fixed. And, it just takes a little bit of, it takes a little jarring to get you from fixed to back to growth. And most of the times it hurts a little bit and stuff like that. And we don't want to go through those growing pains sometimes when we making money now or things got a little better. We don't want to hurt again. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is.
You think that's the biggest challenge to minority-owned businesses or black-owned businesses?
Is what?
That I don't know, that
standard?
Yeah, that standard that you just talked about.
Yeah,
or the lack thereof.
Yeah, I mean, yes. But like Lynch said, there's a couple factors. If it's money, I get it. Like you got to do it the best you can, but you still even if it's money, make the best of what you have to make it dope. Because everybody has a growth period.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just having a good standard, I think would be dope. Because I've been to some places where the food was good, the service was good, and I'm just looking around. I'm like, y'all can do a little bit better, and then you'll be able to open up to a lot more customers and increase that bottom line that you're looking for in the first place.
Man, Don D.C. Curry, a comedian, he has this set about going into a black restaurant, and he nails every single stereotype, and everybody's dying laughing because they've experienced that.
They know it's true.
He had to walk through the kitchen to get to the bathroom. Just stuff like that. There's a dead fly at the base of his table. He thought the fly was just looking at him because the fly wasn't moving, so he was looking at the fly was looking at him. So just stuff like that, man.
But when I look at one factor too, though, this stat I don't remember exactly, but the rate of black commercial ownership is so low.
Yeah.
Like it was something like 3%, which means when you do own these businesses, more than likely you don't own the building, and it doesn't even make financial sense to do the upfit in something that you don't own.
It's
and
tough.
the landlord's not willing to do it because they don't give a crap. They're not willing to.
They put you in a triple net lease.
Triple net on some piece of crap.
On some crap.
Junk.
That's what this like the deal I went and looked at today. That's what it was. It was triple net.
He didn't own
lease.
the building.
Yeah.
Well, he did own the building.
Who? No, the owner
did not own the building.
did not. The guy that brought me to the deal. he did a triple net lease, so he's trying to buy it now. He had a triple net lease, and I'm like, it's going to take the value of the building to bring it up to a decent standard. Mm-hmm. What's crazy is it passed a state audit, so it meets their minimal standards. And then again, yeah, it's just crazy. A healthcare facility that you would not put your mom in.
I was like,
this is crazy, bro.
But there's a lot of reasons, like Lynch was saying. So it definitely goes back to the whole.
But I asked the owner, I'm like, dude, you plan on putting any money upkeep? And I said, that roof looks a little rough. Yeah, but we don't have to do it right now. Yeah, you do have to do it right now. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you need to do it right now.
Right now.
Huh?
That means I don't.
That means I don't want to put the money into it right now.
It means I don't have the money right now.
I don't know, man.
I think that's what that means. If you just,
man, that means he never had money for anything. Because it's like, cats that buy houses and don't do anything, no maintenance, no nothing.
You got it.
Yeah, that's what this place look like.
You ever find yourself as a business owner, an entrepreneur, somebody who's got a Super Bowl ring? You ever find yourself like always wanting to make investments or just not saying it out loud, be like, man, I could come here and knock this thing out the park.
Yeah. Oh, all the time.
It's frustrating, isn't
all
it?
the time. Yeah, all the time. But then, but like we do, I give away the game. I said, look, if you did this, you should do this. You should consider doing this and this, and then that stuff doesn't happen. So it's like, yeah. I see opportunities, but then I share those same opportunities, even if I'm not involved financially with the deal. But folks, for whatever reason, and please, maybe y'all can help, they don't follow suit.
What would be dope is if we went around and visited Black-owned businesses and made suggestions and even made an investment into the business and became part owner. But then I'm talking like, all right, look, you need some help. You need a little bit of capital. We'll do 25 in cash, and we'll do 25 towards repairs.
Yeah.
Right? And that's going to put us here. And we're going to change up your marketing, and that's going to do blank. It's like a reverse. I just think it would be dope because I'd be wanting to do that anyways.
You remember that show? There used to be a show, still might be on, where the guy, he ran restaurants, and he would go into restaurants.
Yeah. What's his name? What's his name?
What was it called?
That's EA's uncle.
Oh,
you always talk about him. John Taffer.
Might be. Yeah, I don't know his name. So I used to go.
Big tall dude.
Yeah.
From Bar Rescue?
John Taffer. No. Restaurant. John Taffer.
No, that's the bar dude.
Bar Rescue.
Yeah.
But he does restaurants too.
This one was, I don't think it's him. It's another guy. Anyway.
The chef. No, go ahead. It don't matter. I'm going to shut up.
Anywho, I used to go to Atlanta all the time. I was in Atlanta half a month, every other week for an entire week. I did that for about 5 years. I used to love this spot called Michon's. Michon's ended up on that show. Family, 2-3 generations. Dude told them everything they needed to do. They did nothing and the place still closed down. And I'm like, first of all, it was great. People loved it. They had some issues. They had some problems. But dude came in, told them what they needed to do. They made 0 changes, and they ended up closing down. Like, he gave you the blueprint. He told you what to do. They made the show, so that boosted their business, and
they weren't ready for it.
Apparently not. But it's like, why? What happens between the instruction and the execution and the action?
Did he offer capital?
What happens? I think he did. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah.
So he probably didn't want to take the deal.
So
and they probably ain't take it.
I don't know. But what happens between that, you get the instruction, the direction, but then there's no execution because there's a space, there's a gap in time, and all you got to close that, like get it, like as soon as you're, I don't know. It blows my mind because people will question all the time that you ain't done nothing, you haven't done this. I did it, I failed at doing it, and I succeeded at doing it. So I can tell you how to do it, but you won't listen. So I don't know.
I mean, if you just take restaurants in itself,
yeah,
most of them closed because of management.
Yeah, restaurants, that's just a tough business, period.
Not really.
Really? I was thinking about, how people say one of the keys to success is working hard. I used to bust tables. That was the hardest job I've ever had in my life. just busting tables. Y'all ever bust tables? And it was at some restaurant in Winston-Salem.
Is this when you
before
before
folks?
or after you discovered the
Let me
double,
see.
the double?
That was like
double quarter pounder.
That was in between, because I discovered the double quarter, and then I think I left, and I think I ended up going back, and I discovered the double fillet of fish.
So
I
that
found
was between your
those.
two found.
Yeah. But you remember that restaurant, Po Folks? I bust tables at Po Folks for
bro.
for a week. It was
I
on
probably
Peters Creek Parkway.
I don't remember that one.
You probably know what I mean. I bust tables for a week. It was the hardest job I ever had.
You're 20 years older than him.
I'm just saying. What that got to do with Po Folks?
Because the franchise probably closed down by the time you came outside.
Po Folks still over somewhere.
You said I was inside when it was
When he was inside? When he was inside?
When he was inside.
Oh, okay. Inside where?
In the house, bro. I wasn't allowed outside.
He went off the porch.
Oh, he went off the porch?
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So it was hard. It was hard. Super hard. Right then, I was like, nah.
What's the
hard work
hardest
is not a
job
part
y'all
of
ever
it.
I
had?
just want to say that every episode, I find a new job that you did. Or
Yeah, I did a bunch of stuff, bro.
A new Black History
bust tables
fact
for a week.
about Rod.
I bust tables for a week, and I was sweating, and I was drenched, and when they told me I couldn't have Minute
Rod, you
Maid,
sweating right now,
So
Rod.
can I put you on my Instagram
Ready
for Black
vibe.
History Month as the founder of the Double Quarter Cheese?
you sure can, bro.
Close up.
Somebody make me a post for that, bro.
I asked for AC, right? And guess what I got? He turned off.
turned it up.
He just turned it off. That's it.
It's the same
Sweatshirt
thing.
dope,
It's
though.
not.
I turned the air on. I turned the air on, and it said,
This
it's like,
is,
yo, you bugging. Like,
You can't
This
turn the
is,
air on.
Actually black.
Just black.
Active
Active black,
black.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's dope.
So I just asking for AC, and he just turned the heat off.
Well, both of them have to be set to that.
Okay. But yeah, anywho. But yeah, I bust tables.
You sweat like a
I
motherfucker.
know, man. It's hot. It's hot in this
It's if you the other one in the other room has to be turned off of heat, so you could turn this or turn it off in general.
Yo, plus we got to get
He just sat down.
some paper towels or something on the side.
He just
for
sat
Rod,
down
man,
like,
when we
hey,
shoot.
he suffered. He just sat down. I begged him. So he's another one. I gave him the game earlier.
Yo, y'all know them Black History Month posts you be seeing? They be mad funny. Somebody make me want a Rod. They said that he founded the.
Amin?
Double quarter pounder
He founded the Black History Month.
Man, I did.
double
Fine.
fillet
What year
of
was
fish.
it?
I think 89, man.
In 1989, Rod
They ain't run
founded.
with the double fillet because I ain't seen that yet.
Yeah, they got the double.
They got the double fillet of fish.
They may
on
have
the
stopped
menu?
it. Yeah, you can get it.
We got to fact check that one, y'all.
You can get it. You
I
get the
just wanna
double.
make
You get
sure,
the double fillet, baby.
We gotta get you
Created
credit
all
for
that stuff, man.
You should get royalties.
I used to put fries on burgers before people started doing that too. I was creative with my food, man.
I think you was the first dude to do that. dog.
I was.
not that
I'm one of the
old,
first. I'm
boy.
telling you, man.
Yeah,
When you start doing
keep
it?
Lean? Why you keep Lean? So
When you start doing
But-
it?
but, I mean,
When you start putting fries on burgers?
I mean, I might have
Thank
did
you,
it
EA.
one or two
I appreciate
times.
that.
So you definitely did it before me.
Yeah.
But you was eating before me too.
That's right. Exactly. I was alive before
So
you.
you had a head start.
Absolutely. So don't even trip.
And you worked there, so you had a chance.
You feel like we're recording this podcast.
Thank
in
you
Black
for
Church.
getting my man something, man.
Swear.
Yo, I think I was the first dude to have colored Timbs though. I dyed my joints back in the day
you
before
dye
Tim's came out. Yeah, before Tim's came out with the colored joints.
So, dude, you know, I tell you, I've missed out on opportunities, right? This dude came to me.
look how much he sweat though.
This dude came to me, right? He had on this dude came to me. He had some white Air Force Ones on, and he had these vials of different color paint. And he said, "Watch this." He took his Air Force One. He put all these designs on his Air Force One, and he said he got the idea because he worked at Lowe's. And paint, he worked in the paint area, and paint splatter would end up on his shoes.
Yeah.
So he was like, so he created this I guess acrylic paint that would stay on the leather.
there. Okay.
And it was a kit for you to design whatever you want to design on your shoes. And I was like, ain't nobody gonna do that. And now look at shoes today.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you
Mr.
gotta have
Wave,
vision.
Mr. Wave.
Mr. Wave, Mr. Another Wave.
Word. Another wave. Man.
Another wave, man. I'm a wave misser. Wave misser. But yeah, man, I bust tables. Hardest job. So that was the lesson. Like, hard work is not going to get you success.
check it out real quick though. What do you think busting tables maybe taught you, or the skill that you kind of learned from that time when you was there?
I probably didn't learn it.
Here's the reason why I asked you, just to give you a little context. I got these interns rocking with me at the gym right now, right? And doing this whole, layout. They get from the very beginning, they got introduction, all this stuff, and they're going through a course. I got the whole joint of course, right? So their very first time coming, we did a icebreaker. And the icebreaker was you had to write down what your first job was and what you kind of got from it and everything. Then I wound up doubling back, after that and explaining to them how all skills are transferable. And when you're not conscious of where you are, it's hard for you to bring them skills to get what you're supposed to get while you're there, because you're always where you are, because it's divine, right? You are where you are because it's divine, and you're supposed to get something while you're there. And then once you get that, it's always yours. So that is a unique experience of yours that you could actually take with you wherever you go that nobody else probably has done and got. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you can use that later on because the skills are transferable if you can draw the parallels. Yeah. So we got them to actually do this exercise, and it's kind of what I'm asking you now. It's kind of like the same thing, right?
Yeah, it sorry to disappoint you. It wasn't that deep. It was like, I hate this. I did it for a week, got a check and bounced.
Okay.
Still talking.
Plus, I didn't have any, but it was memorable, right? Still, but I also didn't have anybody like you to help lead or guide me through that. It was like, because dude wouldn't let me get a Minute Maid lemonade after I was drenched.
That was the deal breaker. That was the icebreaker right
there. I'm out. I'm in college.
Did he know you invented the double quarter pounder?
I told you he didn't know that, man. He didn't know what he was dealing with. And I bounced because I'm telling you, that was so hard.
One of my first real jobs. So I had jobs. One of my jobs where I had like a W-2 and had to fill out an application. I worked at Wendy's on Jonestown Road. About 3 days. It was actually pretty fun, man. Because it was my first time. Like I was out. Did I walk? I ain't hit the drive-through. But I was in the back. I was like, man, I cooked. You were smart. If you could do drive-through, yeah, like you were smart and you could multitask. They didn't give me that in 3 days. But I had to. Then they was doing. They were doing spring break. My sister's boyfriend at the time, my older sister, he took me down to Myrtle Beach.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Couldn't miss that.
Yeah. So you had to quit. So you
quit.
I quit. They wouldn't give me no vacation time.
Yeah.
3 days they don't give vacation time. What's wrong with them?
Right. It was a bike fest or something.
Black Bike Week.
Yeah.
That's my first time outside.
You gave up the bag for Bike Week?
Hell yeah. I'll never forget that week.
He said first time outside.
That turned into girls going wild.
That was it, man.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
They ain't never been the same down to Myrtle Beach since.
Them skills are transferred right there. I know what you got out of it.
Man, I think everybody should have to work fast food. Like every kid coming out of high school or in high school, they should have to work fast food because the environment is no joke. And it teaches you so much.
Yeah, it teaches you a lot. That's why I kind of was asking that question.
Yeah, but yeah, that po folks job taught me nothing. Now McDonald's taught me a whole lot. I mean, I still use like it. So when I cook, the kitchen is clean at the end of when I'm done. Because I learned that at McDonald's. Like, so you clean as you go at McDonald's. And the other little mantra was, if you can lean, you can clean. Right. Meaning if you just lean and not doing nothing, then you can be clean. Yeah, and that stuck with me. So yeah,
it's crazy.
So that's a lesson. That's a lesson.
That's super dope. It's just, I think, sometimes I just got this interesting perspective where I kind of make people, actually do self-reflection. You know what I'm saying? And that self-reflection actually opens up like a gateway to like reprogramming, to change, success and then freedom in that order. But a lot of times we don't look back on those experiences to see what we actually gain from it. Right. You know what I'm saying? And we just feel how we feel and we keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It is tough. But you get something out of that and it's yours, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you pay for that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I'm learning a big lesson doing what I'm doing now with trucking, and EA and I just touched on a little bit earlier the difference between contractors and employees, and so well, first, you got the IRS laws or the rules that say what a contractor is, and then it's a matter of, okay, do I have contractors or do I have employees? Yeah. Do I have employees? And I'm learning a major lesson because some things popped off. And it was just like we had no control because they're contractors. It's like, they came to, they're doing their contractual obligation, and that's it. When I really wanted them to do some other stuff, and then some other leaders in the company wanted them to go do some other stuff like they were employees, but it was like, we got to make sure we pump the brakes because they're contractors. And so that's, I think, entrepreneurs out the gate, you need to consider, an important thing to consider is whether or not you have employees or contractors.
Well, here's the thing for you, that a lot of entrepreneurs aren't really entrepreneurs. They're entrepreneurs by title.
Right. They own a job or,
so
solopreneurs.
It's a bunch of.
So yeah, we're not gonna just graze over that. So when we have the whole conversation about, people doing their side hustle or and then getting into entrepreneurship, like, how do we make sure that they're not just entrepreneurs by title? Like, what is some advice to kind of steer clear from that?
I'm sorry, I missed the question. Yeah.
So Lynch mentioned that some people are entrepreneurs by title. Right. We've been on this podcast to tell people that they should become entrepreneurs, or they, in a sense of having that side hustle, right? Because they will not necessarily invest their way to becoming wealthy or things of that nature. So I'm hearing Lynch, you saying that. I'm saying, how do we avoid that moving forward?
Yeah. So first, you got to figure out, if you really want to learn the ins and outs of the business that you run, or that you have, or that you provide. We talked about why some small businesses actually fail, or most of them fail. They don't understand marketing. They don't understand financial literacy. And what was the other one? Was it personal development or something like that? Or
it's mindset. Yeah, a lot of it is mindset.
Stuff like that.
So get beat up.
Yeah, I'm saying all that to say that we talked about this autonomy before. We talked about all these different factors of why people discipline. We talked about all these different factors why people never make a transition, from having all this time now, or having to run stuff. I literally deal with all employees, but I pay contractors. And I do not look at them as contractors, none of them, not one of them. Because all of them, I got to actually be the executive producer behind. I got to micromanage. I ain't supposed to, but nobody is really who they say they are, unless they're like dope. I'm telling you, you got to be super dope to actually be,
and when you say that, you mean in terms of function, right? In terms of function.
Yeah. So let me see. Man, I can't.
Because what I thought you meant was when someone runs and grabs an LLC.
Oh, we talked about. So check it out. We talked about. I was breaking it down to you the other day. And we talked about Diddy, and I was like, Diddy wasn't just a executive producer that financed the joint, put his name on the joint.
Right.
Diddy would actually say, "Yo, you got to sing that again." That he knew what it sounded like, what it was supposed to do, and even when the person that was singing it thought they nailed it, he had him do it again. You can't sing a lick, but know what
it sound like.
Know what it sound like.
Kurt Franklin.
And right. So when you finally make the transition to kind of be able to know what it looked like and do the things, turn over every stone. Like some people ain't going. You remember how you used to make the bed, and then your mom, or clean the room, and then your mom come in and say, "Boy, if you don't get in there and clean that room again." This is the type of people we dealing with now, but we pay them.
And after the mama say it's better.
Right.
Probably twice. You gotta say it twice.
And that's how and then y'all be telling me, man, stop micromanaging them. I'm like, did you see that shit right there?
So I was working on I'm still working on another deal, right? I just had an epiphany the other day when talking with the owner, because we're looking at possibly doing like a acquisition or a merger of trucking companies, right? And so he was telling me about just different things in the business, and he said, "Yeah, I got to do that, and when this happens, I have to do this, and when this happens, I have to do that." And then I said, "What would you say is the percentage of this business that's in your head?"
A lot of it.
He said, about 85%. I was like, we in trouble.
You know why? It's because most people don't have the knowledge to pull from to know what the end game looks like.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And so if you start in a business to replace your income, most of the time you don't think of eventually firing yourself from those positions.
Right.
Something I did in my business too. I'm not immune to this.
Because you can do
right?
everything.
And so here. I was doing everything in my real estate business until I realized I can hire virtual assistants to do certain things. But when I went to go tell the virtual assistants what to do, I had no documentation of telling them how to do it. Yeah. So then I had to spend the next 30 to 60 days documenting my daily process on how I did certain tasks, so I then can transfer those tasks
SOPs
to the people. Correct. And so we signed up for like a thing called Tranual, which allowed me to do screen recording by positions and so on and so forth. And then we did it. And then, I did it, and then I was able to fire myself from certain tasks. And it was like some of the best things, because after you have it all put out there, you do it. But most of us started a business and never believed that we're going to get to where
to this point
to where we got to fire ourselves. So now you backtrack, and now you're afraid to even let somebody else do it because you can't even convey to them how to do it correctly.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then you end up having a high-paying job. Yeah, you might replace your income with your work, but you're not a true, I can't even say that. You're an entrepreneur, but you're not a true business owner. There's a difference between an entrepreneur is simply somebody who organizes or operates business or businesses, but takes a greater financial risk to do so.
Right.
So if you've done that, great, you're an entrepreneur. But a business owner is different. I own a business, meaning that I don't have to be there.
Yep.
Can you get checks, or can you get revenue and you not be there? Do you get revenue in your sleep? Right? That's when you have systems in place and you really have a business. If the money stops when you stop working, then what? You own a job, or that's so. Yeah, it's a business. You have an LLC, but you own that job. And my mantra is you got to become the maestro. When talking to people about this trucking business, they ask me a question. I'm like, I don't know. I can find out. Right. I call the person that's responsible for knowing. Right. So I have a knowing and understanding of what they do, but I don't know every little detail because I invested in a team that should know those details. Yeah.
You got software now too.
Yeah. And we got technology as well. Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. So it's
Picks
you have to, huh?
If the entrepreneur that we're talking to right now could actually start to look for picks and shovels, they could actually make more money. They could generate more revenue, outside of the actual, service that they provide. Because now you become like vertically integrated. Yeah,
like 95% of black-owned businesses don't have one employee, right? And they're considered a business because they have the LLC and they're registered as a business. But are you truly functioning like a business if you don't have a single employee? So if you don't have an employee, your goal for 2023 is to get an employee to do something that you don't have to do again.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good.
And the way one of the things you can do is just make a list of everything that you have to do, and then find out how many you can bunch together, or find out the biggest one, and then hire somebody to do that. Yeah.
So basically, you're telling them that their goal for the next, for the rest of the year should be figuring out all the things that they can eliminate, delegate, and simplify.
Absolutely.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I think I spent like my last 3 years probably doing all the things that we're talking about right now, getting those SOPs, getting the business out of my head, and all that stuff. And that's why like scaling is here now. You know what I'm saying? Which is pretty dope, and it's exciting too. You know what I mean? It's pretty exciting, and to step away from the daily operations. And
so a question to ask yourself is like, if God forbid, if you weren't here, would AWOL continue? Would it continue? Could it survive without?
Yeah, definitely. The dope part about it is Pyramid Village. I haven't been there in 2 months, maybe. I actually haven't been to one.
Physically been there?
Yeah, not one joint.
We're only, our trucking company is only a little over a year old, and I believe if I went to Dubai for 3 weeks, it would be fine because I trust the team.
Yeah.
The team can make it go.
And
so.
Are you guys in the office, or are you all virtual?
No, it's virtual.
So
that's the other thing. They were like, well, what do you mean you don't have an office? You don't have a yard? What do you mean? Like, why do I need one? I don't need one. So yeah. And that was a hard lesson.
Keep that overhead low.
That was right, but that was a pandemic, kind of forced play.
And then you realize, wait, this is actually dope.
We really can't do this. Yeah. And I saw an article that companies are trying to get away from remote employees when it makes all the sense in the world.
But you know why?
Control.
Not only that, they never set up their processes to not be monitored in the way they do it.
Right. And also they never taught people how to work from home. Right. I think it's American Express. American Express used to have like a part of their training. They used to bring people in and put them in front of this big window facing a lake with geese and just a beautiful scenery, and have them work in that environment to see how productive they could be with all of those distractions. That was a part of the training. And so nobody ever taught anybody how to work from home, and then all of a sudden everybody got to work from home because they're accustomed to getting dressed and driving into work, right? But, nobody ever said, yo, make sure you have your own space. Make sure you get up like you normally get up and you go to that space, and everybody in the house knows that, you're at work, versus, hey, honey, can you put this load of laundry in? Can you fold these clothes, Yeah. And so, so now they're trying to get people back into the buildings.
Well, the one thing that the employees got to look at too is now if they truly want to stay remote, then they open themselves to a true world economy of talent that works remote.
Yeah. Exactly. Because we know offshore is no longer offshore. Offshore is around the corner.
Facts.
Offshore is around the corner. I got Sam. You got criticized for hiring people offshore.
Well, I put a post up that a guy wrote a LinkedIn post and talked about how 20 employees overseas cost him about $220,000, right? Mm-hmm. A year. I think he's paying somewhere between $1,000 to $1,200 a month for each employee overseas, which is good money for them. That's what people. I think people obviously a lot of people don't travel, so they don't understand that. If you make $4 an hour in Egypt, you're making a lot of money because the cost of living is not the same as it is over here at all. So he was like, but the cost of me having 20 employees stateside is like over $1 million plus. And he said the number, and he was like, we've been doing this for years where we've replaced entire departments with talent from overseas that are more passionate, that are more blank, they're more blank and blank. Right. And he was like, it just is what it is. And people were like, yeah, but what about the middle class? And what about, and I was like, listen, you can't run around yelling you're a capitalist and then worry about if your job's going to get taken. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you got to figure out that side that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it doesn't make sense to have stateside employees when somebody will do your job for $1,500 a month and you cost $6,000 a month.
Right. Did you have any reservation going overseas?
Me?
Yeah, hiring overseas.
I started that way with the company,
the real estate company.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I knew that if I can train people, then they would perform the best, and I seen that they were more loyal. They always went above and beyond.
Here's an example of you have to have people that can, handle certain situations. Like I'm terrible with heavy accents. Monica and I and her mom went to a Mexican restaurant, right? The waiter had a heavy accent. And he asked, gosh, what did he ask? What does she want? Because her mom left the table. He said, what does she want to drink? And I was just like, and Monica said, oh, she'll have water. And I said, you knew what he said? Because I thought he said, what does she want on her greens? And I know we didn't order no greens in this Mexican restaurant. And so you got to be able to, I'm telling you, man, you got to be, like, I'm terrible with heavy accents. So, like, when we were in Panama, somebody would ask me something, I'd be like, Monica would interpret because I listen slow, apparently. So,
Well, you have a few staff overseas, right?
Yeah, now we do.
Do they have heavy accents?
Yeah, I don't deal with them.
Oh, so none of my staff has heavy accents. So where are you dealing? Where's your staff?
Right now in India.
Yes, I don't hire out India.
Yeah, So it's a long story.
Yeah.
We got an Indian out of the Philippines who's going back to India that's going to kind of build out a whole dispatch team for us.
Got it.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I need somebody to translate because I'm terrible with heavy accents.
I got to show you when we get off. I got to show you some of my people and their recorded conversations so you can see how you'd be like, wait,
you're Philippines, though, right?
I have real estate is predominantly the core staff is in the Philippines, but then my callers are in Egypt.
Egypt, okay, gotcha. Call center, gotcha. You got trainers in Egypt? No, you ain't trainers in Egypt.
Why not?
Well, probably more for the, on the digital side. We had to rock with them.
On the digital side? Oh, yeah,
side,
right.
Yeah, on the digital side.
So I saw an article about, this is kind of near and dear to my heart because I kind of went through a similar process, that VC funds are funneling away from Black-owned businesses. At one time, Black-owned businesses were pretty hot, but now they're funneling away from Black-owned businesses. And I know what the article said, but I believe that these companies, they don't know how to run urban brands, right? Because they try to whitewash them. And they try to put this urban brand into the same wash cycle as their other brands, and because the customers are different, the customers are different. They just don't know how to do it, and they struggle. And I saw it happen firsthand.
I think what we're coming off of is an all-time high of investments in Black-ran companies. Remember, we all call it the black guilt money. Let's not forget.
Yeah.
Just like we came from an all-time low of interest rates.
Right.
And now the interest rates that it sit at now seem pretty high. So, yes, they're correct. But also there was a lot of this guilt money going around that they were spending to get headlines because they could operate it. And then it just goes back to normal.
Right. Right.
But there's a lot of factors in that, too. I mean, my thing.
What do you think?
I'm not looking for nobody's investment outside of myself.
What do you mean by that? So if I want to buy a plane and go in your flight school, I can't do that.
You rock with me though.
Okay. I'm trying to understand.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is it's hard. It's like if you go into that thing and if you go into that business and always try to court money and like you feel like you're the underdog in the whole operation of courting money, I'm not even gonna go. Like I'm not pulling up to if that's the narrative that it's harder for Black-owned businesses to get money from VCs, right? And they're just people.
Yeah.
I'm not pulling up.
Right.
I'm gonna make you come see me in the D round, C round, public round. You're gonna have to buy me on the exit. I don't know. I mean, I'm spiteful like that.
I'm petty. What about all the corporations that promised, like during the George Floyd situation, a bunch of corporations promised all these things they were going to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they haven't done it. So
it was good headlines.
Yeah. Should their hand be forced?
Why?
I don't know.
I don't think
that was a topic. Just
I mean, you can call them out if you want, but it's their money.
It is their money.
I mean, as a consumer, you need to be smart who you shop with.
Right.
Yeah, as a business owner who's trying to sell, I mean, I don't know if you're gonna fuck with all of them anyway. I mean, somebody gonna come grab it up, but a lot of motherfuckers I wouldn't even entertain. I wouldn't even entertain.
I mean, like you know, the Targets of the world. I don't know if Target did, but I'm just using Target as an example.
Oh, got you.
They said, you know, we're going to invest X amount of dollars. You know, on the onslaught of George Floyd, they're like, we're going to invest X amount of dollars. We're going to hire X amount of people. We're going to do this in black communities for, you know, programs targeted for black, targeted at, you know, black youth, et cetera, et cetera. And very little of anything that anyone has said that they were going to do, almost none of that stuff has happened.
Most of the time,
Max said just
there's no. I mean, it ain't no internal accountability. You know what I'm saying? And then
there's no external accountability.
Well, here's how the external accountability comes about: is since we don't know nothing about it, we don't pursue it, so we don't never get shot down. So since we ain't get shot down, we don't never say nothing about it, and that's where the external accountability is gonna come from. So if I don't know Target got some money out there, I ain't even applying for it. Or if I don't know Target is trying to get some new candles in a joint and I'm a candle company, then I ain't never shooting for Target to get my shit in Target. And then I don't know that Target is supposed to be letting us in. Now I can't even take my defense attorney over there and we go ahead and get this lawsuit jumping and stuff like that. So that's why ain't no external accountability, because we don't know shit.
Y'all think we got short memories? Like something pops off, George Floyd pops off, we go ham, we make all these demands.
That's today's news cycle.
Huh?
That's today's news cycle.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much new shit popping up. Ain't nobody thinking about what they did yesterday, what they said yesterday.
Wow. What about like what do you guys think about the Tyree situation from the perspective that nobody rioted, nobody went off, nobody blew nothing up, nobody tore nothing up?
To be honest with y'all, I sent y'all that link that somebody sent to me or I seen on Reddit or something.
Yeah.
I actually purposely just didn't watch anything about it.
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch anything.
I don't know anything about it. I kind of stopped watching news in general.
Yeah.
But it's the same old story. And it's nothing happens. And y'all know my stance.
Yeah.
You are in an abusive relationship with America. Yeah. Period. And so
it's a little, this story's a little different. Because the perpetrators were all black.
It don't matter. See, I never was pushing that narrative of white cop, black cop. That wasn't me.
Gotcha.
I was pushing the cop narrative, bro. There is a thin blue line. There's a real, I've had conversations with on tape, on record, on film, live with the sheriff of our county.
Right.
I think the entire idea of policing in America is wrong.
Oh yeah, 100%. I agree.
And so so for me I'm not having this conversation because officers stick with each other.
Think
they're a gang, bro.
I was gonna say police is a gang.
And then there's consequences for the ones that want to speak up, and it's a career for them. So why you gonna mess up your career because somebody did something wrong? It's not the system is not built for them to report or to, bro. You've seen stories where officers get blackballed, can't get promotions.
Right.
Like, come on, this is not no news. Like, so yeah, I mean, I don't care what color you are.
Gotcha.
The idea is and there's good cops and bad cops. We keep saying that, but you can't keep saying there's good cops if all the good cops don't do something about the bad cops.
Okay, but if you just look at the social aspect of it, right? So when the situations occurred where there were white cops that murdered unarmed black men, cities and counties and states lost their mind. It was burn this down, yada. So I'm just trying to understand, why do you think it didn't happen before?
These people,
it didn't happen this time.
Right. These people are upset and they don't know why they upset, B.
What do you mean?
They angry, they don't even know why they angry. They angry because somebody told them to be angry.
Okay. That's interesting.
Bro, listen.
Yeah, I think we desensitized at this point.
Because you want to know why? Because you can have. You remember that 7-year-old girl that got shot where her dad was in the car and they was in drive-through of some fast food restaurant?
The dad that got shot? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was in Chicago or something.
Oh, yeah.
Did we march for that?
Castile?
Did we do... No, not that guy.
Who you talking about?
The one that was killed by just another person.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't think I'm familiar with that one.
There was a father and a daughter in the car at a drive-thru. Gang seen him pull up, bust a cap on him, and his 7-year-old daughter died in the process. That was news. It's a little older, but it was news.
Gotcha.
Nobody said nothing. Like you can't be fake angry because it don't mean nothing, right? Because for example,
so you think people were fake angry with George
because
Floyd?
they're not consistent, bro. When you pull up on the Jews and you say something wrong, they come at your neck.
I swear.
Right? Okay. That's what happens. So when you do something wrong to a community, you got to be consistent with your deliverance of saying, "Yo, you can't do that." Like, because you can't be a parent and let your kids get away with it sometimes, and think that they're gonna learn the behavior to not do it anytime.
Yeah, great point.
So all I'm saying is, yes, it's all unfortunate, it's all sad, but yo, when are we really gonna wake up and realize there's a huge problem? You can't. And so that's just another example. So what about somebody on the opposite end of this whole spectrum is looking and saying, you see, they ain't do no rioting, they ain't do no marching in the streets, right? It was black officers. Why is there a difference? That's what
question.
Other people are saying. That's on the other side, right?
Right.
And so now they was like, yeah, it's just a black and white thing.
Yeah, I think that being as those black officers is just evidence now that is systemic, and a lot of times they want to stay away from that word. I guess it's they don't really understand systemic, but because it was black officers, everybody should know now that it's systemic, and the whole system, like you said, is messed up. So that is the proof that you need now to kind of just.
But it's not the first time.
I was about to say we had to get to this in order for.
It's not the first time
to know that it's a.
It's not the first
systemic.
time.
Yeah, it is. I think it is the first time that it's been like,
like that's
black on black type of thing.
And the crazy thing is, the news came out. Them officers were fired and charged with murder in like 28 minutes.
I swear, with the quickness. With the quickness.
I was actually going through the drive-thru getting my double rod cheeseburger.
The double rod.
And before I got to the end of the line, they was already charged.
Ricky D's, hit me up.
That's tough.
But you know what I'm saying? So, bro, I don't want to be having no tin hat on up in here, but the system wasn't built for us. You keep trying to conform to a system.
You got to fill those jails.
And it don't matter if you got a black police chief. It don't matter if you got a black sheriff. It don't matter what it is. They all placeholders. They had to follow the rules in order to go up in the ranks to even be in the position they're in right now anyways. They're part of the system. As much as it's not like they intentionally are malice towards like when you get to that position, but they know you're willing to play the game, so you got there. Right? Police chiefs are chosen. Sheriffs are chosen by the county, by the people through an election. Right? But at the end of the day, if a police chief goes up in that rank, the people around you know you're already willing to play the game. There's no movers and shakers or there's no disruptors that become police chiefs. Because you gonna wrinkle the whole system. So if you become a police chief and you black or you're a woman, you're a minority, the people who help you get there realize that you're still willing to play the game.
Wow.
So you might look, I'm gonna put you there because you look like them, but I understand that you're still willing to protect that thin blue line. And so at the end of the day, it don't matter what color they are.
That's swallow right there, man.
It's just you got to
I put police chiefs or just leadership and the policing community. I put them up there with some vocations that can't make mistakes. Like a pilot can't make a mistake, right? Like a surgeon can't make a mistake.
It gets called malpractice.
I put them up there. Yeah,
Listen,
I know they can't.
I know,
but
like
I put them up there.
Winston-Salem, our police chief just retired,
Yep.
and I know Miss Katrina Thompson personally,
Yep.
and I'm not saying she is a evil person at all. I'm just giving you an example.
Right. Yeah.
I'm just saying, in order to grow in that rank that is chosen internally by the mayor, by the people in the department or whatever, you have
to be in the matrix.
You got to be a part of the system in some way, shape, or form. They're not going to promote a person who is a disruptor.
Right.
Because they won't even take a report from another officer and take it serious. So you gotta be part of the game, bro.
That's tough, man. That's tough in that role.
I mean, that's why, like, for example, when I was in the military, there was a lot of people who was like, yeah, I'm not going past like Master Sergeant. It's too political after that. I'm gonna stay right here.
Wow.
People know it. It's like, yeah, I'm not willing to play politics.
Yeah. The system, the matrix is no joke. What else cooking? What else? What you got, Lynch?
Oh, man, I got so much stuff. My head's spinning, man. I don't even know what's going on right now. Shit, tell me, just try to get through it. Yeah, I'm just trying to get through one at a time, man. One at a time. It's tough.
Yo, I was what's going on with the restaurant and the gym and all that, the building, period.
So man, I'm waiting on the city right now. I'm waiting on two things. I'm waiting on my engineers to finish so that we can make this final submittal to the city. Mm-hmm. Man, we ready to rock, man. We just sitting around waiting on bureaucracy bull crap. You know what I mean? So we ready to get this building rock, man. I've got my people ready to go.
So waiting on the city. So
waiting on my engineers.
Is that the mayor or is that the city manager?
Nah, because even when it get there, I got some people to call to make sure it happens. Yeah. I'm waiting on my engineers to finish the last piece to make this submittal.
Oh, okay.
And then we on.
It's on.
Gotcha. Will they get fired if they don't step it up to get to, or is it like you're in bed with them, you got to stay in bed with them?
You're too late in the game right now. I would have been fired, but you're too late in the game to go switch. These engineers and architects are all high demand, man.
Gotcha. Hey, have y'all ever been in a one of those situations? Know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to
run.
Know when to run. You ever been in one of those situations and had to decide to run?
It's kind of like a topic we were discussing. Me and my team were talking about, like, when is an entrepreneur supposed to quit?
Right.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you got too many irons in the fire, and you ain't focusing on none of them. Or sometimes you're focusing on one, but you just got to know when to be like, pivot, drop this joint and move. It's happened to me. I mean, because I'm
what was like your mindset to get to the decision?
It's tough, man. It's like walking away from a very dope relationship.
Yeah.
Because you start to fantasize as an entrepreneur the possibilities. Yeah. And you can't let it go.
Yeah. The what ifs.
It's difficult.
I'm just one meeting away from the moon.
Yeah.
One relationship away from, this thing going, through the roof. And that the psychology is tough. That is tough. So in having that discussion with the team, was there a conclusion or is still on the table?
Well, we were talking about it. We were writing scripts for a video.
Okay.
And one of them is when.
Should let me write them.
When you should.
I'm an incredible writer now.
When you should.
Now. I'm telling you, bro.
We use ChatGPT to help start it, and then we massage it ourselves. But it's when do you quit?
Do you quit? Right.
At least pivot. At least sometimes you got to pivot.
You got to pivot a lot.
It's important as an entrepreneur to pivot. But so when do you just quit?
Just hang it up.
Not that you stop everything. You just stop that.
Right. Yep.
It's tough.
It shouldn't be tough though. I mean, but all this stuff comes into play. Ego comes into play. Did I fail? What went wrong?
You know what it becomes harder?
What?
When somebody like yourself, who has a track record of winning.
Yeah.
And you know when you know that you should fold the cards, but you just know that you're better than folding the cards.
Yeah, right.
And you're just like.
That's why people lose money in poker too, though.
Correct.
Is that what's happening with Elon with Twitter?
They've been mad quiet about that one, hasn't he? I said from the beginning, so I stand where I stand. It's going to be a downfall of the man.
What, Twitter? Mm-hmm. What didn't you? I mean, I don't know, a few pods ago, we talked about how is he being forced to? Did the board force him to find a leader to run it instead of him? Or
there was external pressure from the board and some large shareholders in Tesla that said, "My G, what are you doing?
Right.
You're taking away some of our top talent from the company to go do this pet project, this $54 billion pet project you got, and your attention is you're heavily focused on this right now,
right?
And your stock is going down, and people are losing confidence in the man who's so much in the spotlight these days, because every tweet is scrutinized, and you just look dumber and dumber every time you get on Clubhouse or you get in these chat rooms and you start talking. And so he put up a poll and said, "Yo," on Twitter, "So do you think I should find a new CEO?" And they all voted yes. Majority voted yes.
Like 100%.
He still hasn't done it. He said he will step down when he finds a suitable CEO. But
wow,
I don't know. Elon is Elon. Even if he takes his L, he's still gonna be all right.
Facebook had a nice bump in their stock.
I don't own any Facebook.
I do. Hallelujah.
You need it after because you own
Hallelujah.
You own Elon too.
Yes. Hallelujah.
They did a 23% jump in one day.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And I understand it was just news on
Earnings,
just earnings news.
They probably shot way past their expected earnings.
On Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook.
Meta.
What's Tesla up?
Huh?
Tesla up.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
He stopped looking because he.
Yeah. I don't even look. I just look at like my margin balance to see how much I can borrow to buy a truck or something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
I think y'all sent something the other day about Jordans or Nike or something like that. Somebody put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, they're getting sued by your boys.
No. Something about stocks. Something like that.
Oh, I put something there about Nike getting sued by Lululemon.
You said that directly to me, I think.
Or no,
Why?
Lululemon getting sued by. Oh, I did.
Lululemon getting sued
by Nike.
Yeah,
like
they use some of their
shoe technology.
Technology is suing everybody right now. They suing vapes. You know how
They
vapes?
oh really?
Finally,
because they got they got some type of patents on
the silhouette of a shoe.
Silhouette. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like literally this.
Yeah.
Once you take the logo off,
Yeah.
if the silhouette matches, then you go after them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dang.
They
son.
suing one of my dudes, Omi and a Hellcat.
Yeah.
We should get him on the pod too.
The Hellcat dude?
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll do it for
Didn't
sure.
they go after him?
Right now they're going
They're
after
still
him.
going after him?
Right now. That's that China plug. Everybody seen that China plug was like, "Y'all can do this." You paying $14 for a pair of shoes?
Yeah. China bad, man. They
Slap a star on them.
right.
With a lightning bolt.
Right.
Got the
You
Air
remember
Ones.
when China they did they bootlegged the whole Apple store?
Yeah.
In
Yes,
China
I
they did
seen
a
that.
whole Apple store. Had the slide out drawers and the registers, under the tables. They had the whole. I'm like, dang, China's no joke. They ain't playing.
So I've been buying a stock. I've been buying stock every time I buy a pair of J's. I buy the same amount of stock. Since y'all put something in the chat, and ever since you put it in the chat, that's what I've been doing. So I was like, all right,
That's good
I'm
stuff,
gonna do
man.
it this is how I'm gonna do it right here.
Where's that Nike stock I gave you for your birthday? Where is it sitting right now? Is it up?
Yeah, it's about it's probably about $1,200 last time I looked at it.
Really? Wow.
It's pretty doing pretty.
It's a nice little pop. Nice little pop.
That was probably 3 years ago, maybe.
Yo, man, what do you tell? Like I'm on boards and different organizations, from an advisory standpoint. And since being a part of this podcast, I tell people to do podcasts. So I tell them stop telling people to do podcasts. Am I watering down the podcast lane or what? What do y'all think about that?
Hey, man.
Does everybody need a podcast to market their thing?
I mean, it's a good way to market your business.
You got to market.
Or your
Is
expertise.
it like a website? Remember back in the day, everybody had to have a website. Is podcast now like a website?
It's marketing. So
Gotcha.
you got to get it out there.
Gotcha. I mean, would you advise people? See, I'd be messing up sometimes. I gotta come check with y'all.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to. I think you're telling them right because they got to create content some type of way. If this is one of the ways that they can do it, then
Will content still be king with AI?
Yes.
yeah, that's where you're gonna.
You still got to have the personality. Remember, there's many songwriters, but not many performers.
Facts.
There's many movie writers, but not that many actors.
Right.
You still got to perform it.
Gotcha.
AI is just going to make people that are great better.
That's it.
Right. And people who are good, obsolete.
No,
maybe
just make them better too.
You think? Okay. I think the creators are pushing back.
Don't matter what they do. They sound like automakers back in the.
Right. The creators are saying, no, my work is divine and it's original and it's yada 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 yada.
Good luck. Better ride the wave.
I know. Get on that wave. Catch it.
They rocking with it, man. They tapping in too. They know what's going on.
Yeah, I did I'm just doing crazy stuff right now.
I think it's you either know or you don't know. There's just a lot of people that don't know, and there's a lot of people that know.
Right.
The ones that know is tapping in, and the ones
a lot of people don't even want to know.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Look to them.
That's the cushion.
What you got over there, E? So you got some shoes up. You got some
Yeah,
shoes.
I was looking at Nike suing Lululemon.
Silhouette joints.
Yeah, for patent infringement, and in the article they also talking about how they're going after Bape too. So yeah, Nike's just
they on a tangent. Last 6 months they've been suing everybody.
Yeah, they want their coin.
Their coin.
Sometimes that can backfire.
Yeah, I think that. I think because
sometimes you can sue the wrong people.
It's expensive.
That new Lululemon joint actually did pretty good.
I mean, Nike already went through Adidas, Puma, and Skechers at some point.
What'd you say about Lululemon?
No, so the new Lululemon sneaker actually did pretty good, and it had an effect on some stuff that Nike was doing. So
anytime it has an effect. Remember what they did to And One?
Mm-hmm.
Squash with a commercial.
Tried to very hard. Look, man, I think this is a decent show. What y'all think?
I think it's a great show. I think anytime we come together,
just have a conversation.
Greatness. Just to have a conversation is greatness. And there are gems and jewels. You just got to dig for them.
They in there.
Got to dig.
Period.
They in there.
Period. Invent a sandwich. Invent a burger.
I come to chill.
I'm dead serious, bro. I'm about to make a meme of you.
Hey.
You're like Rob. What'd you do today?
Bring a bag. Bring us a bag, Adrian. Bring us a bag.
We gonna put. I still need.
AS.
I still need my McDonald's super card or gold card or something. Like that.
Bring us a bag.
I need fries every time I pull up.
That's it.
Nice.
You
apple
fries?
pies,
You
fries, apple pies.
Fries and apple pies.
Yeah, I ain't on them right now though. I'm doing good right now.
You killing it.
Yeah.
He sent a picture in a group where he's weighing his food. I'm like, oh my God.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in to the Endgame. You know what it is. If you are watching on YouTube, subscribe, please. Smash that like button. Also, don't forget to give us a 5-star rating if you listen to on the podcast world. I am Max Maxwell.
I'm Rod Brown.
I'm Lynch Hunt.
It's the Endgame, and we out.
Peace.